All right, guys, Kenny Smith, Total Force Holdings again. Today with civil unrest, we're going to talk about things you can do to your facility that may be subject to issues of civil unrest or things you need to consider with determining whether you need to shelter in place, i.e. stay in your facility, or going ahead and pop smoke and make to another area. And the first is, and this is all about hardening the target. What's your perimeter look like? Do you have a fence around you? All right. Is there anything that can deny access to the immediate front of the building? Hey, if you're a private citizen, most likely there ain't, okay, especially if you're in a city. But understand what your perimeter situation looks like. What are your exterior surfaces made of? Brick doesn't burn, all right? Brick better than wood, all right? Glass breaks, brick better than glass. Concrete better than glass or wood, all right? Metal, harder to get into, but it's going to radiate more heat into the building and thus can cause fires further in, even though the metal itself doesn't burn. All right, you have to understand again, incendiary weapons like Molotov cocktails are extremely common in civil unrest. They're dirt cheap, they're easy to make, and people know that they work. All right, so they're common. They're common, right? Well, they ain't exactly as dirt cheap as they used to be because fuels went through the roof. But nonetheless, your perimeter, your outer perimeter, is there any access control around there? And your building perimeter, what is the building made of? Is it cover? Is it concealment? How well does it behave with incendiaries? All right, your entries. What do your entries look like? How can you go ahead and secure and lock the doors? That deadbolt isn't worth a damn if the door faces glass, okay? What can you do to barricade those entries to keep these people who are causing trouble out? All right, because you don't want them coming in there. The next thing you need to think about is your fire protection systems. Do you have access to fire extinguishers in the event these guys start hucking Molotov cocktails at your building? Maybe one of them gets hit with a beanbag wet brown right about the time they go to chunk it and it hits your building. Do you have fire suppression capability? All right. You also need to think about your HVAC system. If a protest turns into a riot, the local constabulary is going to be tossing CS and OC around like M&Ms. All right, because it breaks up crowds. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it breaks up crowds. Now you're starting to see some of the Israeli skunk stuff come around too, and it's accurately named. That stuff stinks to high heaven. All right, what's your HVAC system look like? If you don't have good air filtration on that HVAC, understand any of that gas or vapor that's outside, it's going to pull it straight into the building and you're going to get a dose of it. So you might want to think about that as well. And finally, what kind of LPOP setup do you have? It's a military term for listening and observation post. Can I get on the roof and see stuff coming from further away? What kind of cover and concealment do I have? Can I look out windows? Where can I go in this facility where I can see further around and kind of know what's going on? All right, all this comes into target hardening, and that's big deal when you're stuck in the middle of a civil unrest case. Link tree in the bio. Y'all stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.